we have had the official announcement now for Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois. Do you feel this is the right time for Daniel Dubois to be getting his hands on Anthony Joshua?
He is. Yes, it's a great opportunity for Daniel Dubois. I mean, he's had some, hasn't he? He's had some good opportunities. That young man, and he's young, and I feel he's got a little bit of a psychological edge over Anthony Joshua. If that was true, what happened in sparring many years ago. For me, Dubois has only just started to look good, so it doesn't give me, as a fan, too much confidence because of Anthony's wealth of experience. So I'll make Anthony favourite, Joshua a favourite in that fight, but I wouldn't be surprised if Daniel pulls it off.
And those are the words of Mark Tibbs as he claims that Daniel Dubois has the psychological edge over Anthony Joshua. And let me counterpunch for a second. I think Daniel Dubois has had a lot of good opportunities. You know, both of those fights, the Miller fight and the Hrgovic fight, have been on a Riyadh season event. So yeah, his stock in Turkey Al-Sheikh is growing. And he can do nothing but pinnacle if he beats Anthony Joshua. You know, now we know and we expect the biggest fights, the AJ versus Fury or the whatever. But Daniel Dubois is in a position where it's do or die. It's now or never, you know. And I think here's the irony of it. Daniel Dubois, I think, has done a very good job based on the fact that people didn't think that he could do what he done. You know what I mean? Jarrell Miller called him a quitter, which a lot of people called him a quitter, and he did a good job with him. And Filip Hrgovic said that he lacks balls, okay, which means he's a quitter. Okay, so pretty much they said the same thing. And I think because those guys egged him on, they, in a sense, motivated him to do, along with Frank Warren, because, you know, Frank Warren had a hand in saying what he said to Daniel behind closed doors, that motivated Daniel to be who he is now, to fight harder, to push harder, you know, to do more, you know, no retreat, no surrender attitude. So I think they helped Daniel in those fights. You don't really see that with Anthony Joshua yet, okay? Because what we've known of Anthony Joshua is that he's becoming a lot less tolerable of everybody. I mean, let's face it. Look how many times Carl Froch has said something derogatory or negative, less low-key hating about Anthony Joshua, and he said nothing. Now he's calling him a prick. He called Lennox Lewis a clown. You know what I mean? He called Deontay Wilder a bitch. So yeah, he's becoming a lot more less tolerable of these things that are said about him, or if he feels that, because Daniel really didn't say anything bad, you know. And I thought Mark Tibbs was going to say that Daniel Dubois had the psychological advantage simply because, you know, of how mad AJ got like that, you know. And that tells you whenever someone does those type of things, it is more because they feel a certain type of way, or there is some kind of mental problems that they're having psychologically with fighting that opponent. Okay, because remember when Tyson Fury and Usyk, when Tyson all of a sudden wanted to headbutt him and go head to head with Usyk, you know what I mean? And all of people thought like, hey, something's wrong with Tyson. Why is he acting this way? Why does he have to revert to violence? Whereas, you know, you can say the same thing about Anthony Joshua, but no, Hades, no. That's not what he was talking about. What Mark Tibbs was talking about is the fact that the sparring sessions, okay, and he felt that he had something to an advantage over AJ because young as he was, and he was able to rock AJ and get AJ's attention. Well, Danny Dubois is known for his power. Okay, that's one of his main assets. You know what I mean? Not necessarily his boxing ability. You know, his punching power and and his ability to finish, because he is a good finisher. That you got to give Daniel Dubois. Okay. However, here's the irony. This is how it ties back in. The same way that Hrgovic and Jarrell Miller pushed and pissed off Danny Dubois and had Danny Dubois thinking that he had to do more, is because think of Hrgovic for a second. Hrgovic was a guy that supposed to gave Danny Dubois the blues in sparring. Okay? And we heard about that. And Danny Dubois felt a certain type of way, and that gave him an extra jolt, you know, that made him take those shots and then give more shots of his own. And we see what the result was. Okay? And I think because he brought that sparring up, that's what it is. So the irony comes in is, you say that shit about AJ when he was a young pro and Danny Dubois was an amateur, and then you bring that up and it's been brought up, okay, that's going to make AJ fight harder, okay, and give him more of the psychological advantage, because he's fighting to prove or to make a statement against Dubois. Like, that shit that you did with me and you back then doesn't mean anything. Okay, and I think he's going to go in to make that particular promise on top of what Turki Al-Sheikh allegedly offered AJ, 5 minutes with 5 punches for $900 million, those type of things, some kind of crazy, stupid bonus. We don't know how true that is. It's just an article that was given to me, and I did a video about it, of course. So for everybody thinking, whoa, yeah, is it real? I don't know. But I can tell you this, AJ hearing those things, I think that made him get up and tell Danny Dubois, you know, hey, you're going to respect me, because there's already been enough shit that's been said about you and our sparring that has already pissed me off. And I think that's what catapulted that particular incident when those guys were at that face-off together. But you guys tell me what you think of Mark Tibbs saying that Danny Dubois has the psychological advantage over AJ. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been counterpunching. Peace.